Hey, what's up everybody? So, just in case you guys are not sick of me yet, I'm doing my best to make sure that you get sick of me. I had a request, everybody. I had a request. Somebody needs some help, and I'm sure it's not just one person. I'm sure it's not one person. Now, as we all know, Tonal is very, very smart. Tonal is so intelligent. Tonal is so beautiful. Tonal is so flawless. Wait, let's take it back a little bit. Tonal is not actually flawless. Tonal does not have a brain like you and I. Now, I've said since I started this channel, there is 1,000,001 ways to do the same thing. And guys, I'll use an analogy that I've used in the past in some of my videos. If you follow a GPS, okay, because you put your trust in that GPS and you put your faith in that GPS, and that GPS was made by the best GPS company in the world. If you do all those things, you're going to end up driving into a wall. You're going to end up smashing into a tree. You're going to end up going down one-way streets the wrong way. Why is that? That is because GPSs, no matter how much we trust in them, no matter how amazingly they work most of the time, guys, a GPS is not perfect. Tonal, no matter how much we trust in it, no matter how much it helps us, no matter how much it builds us up and makes us happy, it is not perfect, guys. Let's talk about overhead press, okay? Let's talk about overhead press. Overhead press on Tonal, specifically. We have heard of the bruising that Tonal causes. The lines that Tonal has causes bruising on your upper arms, okay? Sometimes it'll cause, a lot of the time it's rubbing around here. This upper part, this upper section of your arm, on each arm, during bench press, during overhead press. There's a lot of exercises where Tonal is going to rub against you. I was doing one the other day when I was doing my bench press video. I was showing you how the cable was rubbing against my arm. Now, does that bother me? No, it doesn't bother me. I haven't had any issues. But guys, it bothers a lot of people. So today I want to focus on how we can avoid that burn when we're doing bench press, or more specifically, overhead press, okay? Now remember, I started off saying Tonal is not perfect, because it is not. So, sometimes you need to do the thinking for Tonal. Tonal is going to ask you for your height, your weight, your everything. It's going to ask for your information so it can calibrate the machine to your liking. Now, I said during the other day, I said in a video that I made the other day, when I'm doing a reverse fly on Tonal, Tonal is telling me that the arms need to be too high. And I had somebody mention in the comments that they're pretty sure that you could put your height in, and that's going to tell you to alter. It's going to give you the proper height for the arms. And I mentioned that, hey, it does. You put your height in, it tells you what level the arm should be at. But guys, I already know, I'm not a trainer, okay? But I have experience in the gym, and I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. But I know that Tonal's telling me, despite my correct height being in the machine, Tonal's giving me the wrong information. It's telling me to put it at a certain height that is not the right height for me. Okay, maybe for other people it's fine. But for me, because everybody's different, there's no cookie cutter human, it's giving me the wrong information. So let's go into overhead press. Let's try to see if we can't fix this issue that we're having with the cables rubbing. Now first I'm going to see if you can see what I'm doing properly. Give you a better view. There you go. All right. Let's go into overhead press on this beautiful machine that is far from perfect. Okay? Overhead press. Now, if you're doing a seated overhead press, let me find it. Give me a moment. Where are you? Okay. Seated overhead press. Okay. I'm going to put, well, it doesn't matter what reps, it doesn't matter any of this stuff. We're going to start the movement, okay? Now, first thing I want to mention is triceps and shoulders, okay? Guys, triceps and shoulders. An overhead press is working triceps and shoulders. You can very easily avoid this exercise. You might love this exercise, but if the cord, if the line still bothers you after we speak about what we're going to speak about today, you can simply avoid the exercise by doing, for example, a raise. You could do a shoulder raise, right? Just take the line, raise it up, do the side, do the front. You can do a reverse fly for the back of the shoulders, okay? You could do one of these jammies, okay? You can do a lot to be able to get around the fact that this exercise might not work for you. So keep that in mind. You can do a lot of other exercises to avoid these problems. But if you don't want to do other exercises, take a look at what I'm going to show you today. Maybe it'll help. All right? So what we're going to look at is, first we're going to do the seated, but the principles are the same for the standing. It's the same deal, okay? We're going to start the movement. Now, Tonal tells me that currently I have the position. Let me just see something. Let me see something real quick. Okay, good. Tonal's telling me that for my size and my situation, this is the position for the arms, okay? Let's look at me doing this raise over here. Okay, I'm going to bring this up. Rubbing right on my arm. Okay? That's annoying. How am I going to fix that? Well, I have a couple of options. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move over. Now, you see how I moved up? I moved up closer to Tonal. Now watch what I do. It is no longer hitting my arm. So a simple position switch can fix that issue, depending on how long your legs are, okay? If your legs are smashing into this wall, maybe it's not a good idea. But guys, I'm fine. Not rubbing. So that fixes the issue for me, okay? Now, if your legs are too long and you can't do what I just did for that reason, Tonal's telling me that this is the proper alignment. Let's say I'm saying that Tonal's wrong. Tonal's wrong. Guys, there is no right and wrong way to do something all the time. There's a million ways to do the same thing. So what are we going to do? We're going to go against Tonal's judgment. We're going to take the arm and kick it out a notch on each side. Okay? Tonal's yelling at me right now. You got the little green dot blinking. Hey, jerk, you're putting this in the wrong section. I don't care. Ignore Tonal, okay? Tonal's beautiful, but sometimes you got to ignore him. Take the arms. Bring it here. Now, as you can see, I am still sitting. I'm not sitting up against the wall completely, okay? So let's pretend I have long legs. My legs have more space now. I'm going to turn the weight on. And look at that. I have the room I need. The lines are not rubbing. Yet Tonal is telling me I'm doing the wrong thing. I don't care what Tonal says. If I know that what I'm doing is right, and I know that I'm not going to get hurt, and I feel comfortable with what I'm doing, I don't care if I'm a trainer, I don't care if I don't care. I don't care what the studies say. I don't care what anything says. If Tonal says it's wrong, and I know it's right, and I know it's not wrong, I'm going to do it. Okay? I don't need this machine, and its beautiful stats, and its beautiful numbers, and it's beautiful this, and it's beautiful that. I don't need to tell me what to do, because I know better. A brain like mine built this machine. A much smarter brain than mine, but at the end of the day, a brain built this machine. You are smarter than this machine. I don't care who you are. And I don't care what your IQ is. You're smarter than this machine. So guys, I hope that helped. Now the same principle, the same exact principle goes for if you're doing a standing press. The same principle, okay? So kick the arms out. If you can't move up enough, kick the arms out another notch, and you're going to be avoiding your shoulders. For the most, I mean, unless you've got gigantic arms, you're going to avoid your shoulders. And if you can't avoid the problem by doing what I just showed you, do different moves. If you can wear a long sleeve shirt to cover your arms to protect you, if you want, you could do that. Put some padding maybe, like maybe an arm strap, you could do that. Or I would just avoid the move altogether. Because guys, there's very effective. Think about what you're doing. When you're doing an overhead press, you're pretty much working two different muscle groups. You're working shoulder and you're working triceps for the most part, right? Shoulder and triceps. I think most people do it for the shoulder. Guys, you can probably get a more targeted shoulder movement by doing a dedicated shoulder exercise rather than splitting up what it's targeting between your between your tricep and your shoulder. You're splitting the movement. So for example, if you're doing an overhead press and now your triceps get tired, well, you can't keep doing shoulder now. You might consider, depending on your schedule, depending on what you like to do, doing dedicated shoulder exercises and then doing dedicated triceps. You could do that. So I hope that helps. Now the same thing goes for the bench press, okay? Let's change it because I know bench press is another problem area, all right? We'll start the movement. Now let's take a look. Wait, let me check the camera again. Make sure you're getting a good view of the bench press. Let me come down just a little more. Bear with me, guys. Thank you for your kindness. Okay. So here we have the bench press, okay? We're going to be doing bench press. We're going to be seeing how the arm, the line is rubbing up against my arm. First, let's put it where Tonal tells me to put it. And I do believe it's going to rub against my arm. I got to be honest, like I said, it doesn't affect me to the point where I care. But it will affect some. So, I don't even remember if it really rubs against my arm when I'm doing this, but here we go. I'm going to grab the handles. I'm going to come down here. And now we're going to do a bench press, okay? Turn the weight on. Well, first I'm going to come up, turn the weight on. All right, you see how it's rubbing. That could be annoying to somebody. And depending on how hard you're going, it could actually hurt you. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this off. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kick this out. Right? Now, Tonal's yelling at me. Tonal's telling me that I'm doing this wrong. Well, let's see. I don't know. Maybe this will stop it from rubbing. Look at that. Nice, free, clear. And I'll also say there's less tension on my shoulders. Surprisingly, there's less tension on my shoulders. So not only is it not rubbing, there's less tension on my shoulders. So are you going to listen to Tonal if Tonal's telling you to hurt yourself? Absolutely not. Now let's say you are like, no, I want to listen to Tonal and I want to do the right move, the right position. All right, no problem. So let's put it back. I'm going to put it back. All I want you to do is move down a little bit, okay? All I want you to do is move down. Everything is adjustable. You might see the coach lay on the bench, he's laying a certain way, and you might say, oh, okay, I'm going to lay the exact way. His body or her body is different than yours. All right? So I'm going to move down on the bench. And now I'm going to try this and see if it makes a difference. It might. It might make a difference. Look at that, guys. Barely any touch. Barely. Just barely. It's rubbing just a little, but almost not, because I moved down. And if I move down even more, let me kill the weight. If I move down even more, look at this. Nothing. No issues. All right, guys? So I hope this helped. I know the struggle, believe me. And I know that all of you are like, but I want to listen to Tonal. Tonal's smart, and I bought it because it's amazing and it's a genius. Guys, all those things are true. You make this machine work for you. Okay? This machine is for you. It has almost infinite capability to move the arms and to, you know, the line, it swivels. Guys, make it work for you. There's no right and wrong way. You make it work for you. And make sure what you're doing is safe. Make sure that you're not getting hurt. No problem. No problem. Okay, guys? So I hope this helped. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to go have a nice day with my wife now. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Stay tuned for the leg portion later in the week. I don't know when I'm going to have that out. Leg portion later in the week about how I exercise my legs. I hope you guys are enjoying all the content, and I hope that it's helping you guys. That's what it's about. It's about feeling good and doing the best you can to have fun while building yourself up. Well, you're doing the best you can to break yourself down and have the most fun doing it so you can be built back up. Because this machine will rip you apart and put you back together piece by piece. All right, guys, enjoy the day. Be safe. Talk soon. And I hope this helped.